Now, indeed, this may not be the best of time for those living on the floodplains in the country, especially as the country gets into the thick of the rainy season. And so let's examine this issue further. And joining me on the news at 10 is the Director of Engineering Hydrology at the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, Mr. Clement Hize. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you.
Let's kick off with your claim that the water level in Lokoja particularly has exceeded its level in 2012. What does this mean?
Well, the Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency, has equipment that are installed by the rivers, major rivers and their tributaries in Nigeria. They are telemetric in the sense we can interrogate them from the office through the satellite. We monitor the flow. We make comparisons over the years. The 2012 flood has remained a benchmark to make reference. Now, what happened upstream of River Niger, in the upper catchment of Niger, Mali, Guinea, affects Nigeria. Nigeria is at the bottom. We call it the lower Niger. The other ones are either upper Niger, inland delta, and then middle Niger, that is Niger. But Nigeria is the lower Niger. Now, taking 2012 flood as a reference, our measuring instrument, which we read manually and automatically, at the downstream of the confluence, the measurement we got today, 29th of August, says the height of the water is 8.69 meters. The same day, 28th of August 2012, we had 8.57. That difference of about 4 inches portends a lot of danger.
Does this also suggest that flooding this year would surpass that of 2012?
We cannot really say so. 2012, Cameroon released water from the dam because their dam was under threat. They had to release water. But as of today, the Cameroonian authorities are still impounding water in the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. The flood that occurred in in Adamawa State in particular, was caused by the tributaries of River Benue, both within Cameroon catchment, downstream of the Lagdo Dam. We have Mayokebi River, Faro River, Gongola, Donga, Kasenala, that all empty into River Benue. So there was flooding within those tributaries, and they flooded some part of the state. So as at now, when I contacted my colleague in Cameroon, northern province of Cameroon, he assured us that they're not yet releasing water, they're impounding. And again, Nigeria and Cameroon have a memorandum of understanding between the two countries with regard to that Lagdo Dam, that in the case or in the event of releasing water, they will notify us accordingly.
Mr. The interesting thing is this warning is coming to the same group of people that are affected by previous floodings. I mean, the pattern remains the same. There is warning and then there is evacuation. What should we do to put a stop to this?
Yeah, that's what we are doing here anyway, trying to sensitize the public, especially the riparian states that are supposed to be affected. The flood is something that you cannot avoid, but you can mitigate. You can reduce the impact. And our major problem, we are somehow we are a little bit comfortable because we have two major dams on River Niger, Kainji and Jeba. Unfortunately, they're already spilling because there was heavy flow coming from Niger Republic. So they had to open their gates, Kainji, and then 100 kilometers downstream, you have Jeba. Now there was a heavy flood incident in Kaduna. Kaduna River was flooded. So many local governments were flooded. And the flood has already started moving down to Shiroro Dam, built on River Kaduna. As of today, the dam is closed because they are still impounding water. That's Shiroro Dam. But in the event they become, overwhelmed, they will open their gates and it goes into River Niger. But then on the River Benue axis, we have no single dam there. That in case there's any release of water from Lagdo Dam, there's nothing we can do, just to evacuate people.
Well, what would you be telling Nigerians to do under these circumstances, especially with the likelihood of the dam in Cameroon being open sometime, like you say, if it's overwhelmed?
There should be more sensitization programs within the states. Government should carry out a lot of activities towards evacuating people to higher grounds, open up all drainages that are blocked, educate people on how not to block the drainages. And if you are building any structure, seek expert opinion in terms of how you size your reservoirs, or sorry, your drainages, your bridges, and so on and so forth, to make room for flood. And again, this issue of you build houses, pavement everywhere, no single space for water to percolate. Infiltration is almost zero. That whatever falls on the ground finds its way on the surface. So developers should create the avenue to have enough space within their buildings, their compounds rather, so that there will be infiltration to reduce the impact of flood.
It certainly looks like a job for everyone should put his hand on deck to make sure we mitigate this.
Yes, town planners and so on and so forth, politicians should be involved.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clementinze. He's the Director of Engineering Hydrology at the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. Thank you again for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you, Ibrahim.